April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. One Tucson organization that addresses its impact on our community is Child and Family Resources.
Well, the workers there help families succeed, fight poverty, and ensure children actually excel in school. The president and CEO of Child and Family Resources, Eric Schindler, is here to tell us all about an event coming up that will honor these workers.
Morning.
So, Eric, we actually want to start. I mean, we want to talk about this brunch, but it seems abuse cases have gone up in Arizona.
They've gone up significantly over the last 5 years.
Why is that?
Oh, well, there's a very simple reason for it. Our state legislature slashed funding for the prevention and early intervention programs and services that we know keep child abuse from happening. So you cut.
Wow. So that makes a huge
Yes,
effect.
in 2009 we had a significant cut, and those funds have never really been restored. And so we predicted that child abuse would rise, and it did. And we've seen a lot of scandal and a lot of tragedy since.
How do you even do that? Like, what is early intervention? How do you teach people to avoid abuse?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had a great story just recently here about pregnancy, right? And what happens, though, when somebody doesn't come from a great environment, when they've had a terrible childhood themselves, or maybe they're victims of domestic violence, or they've had drug abuse in their past? They may not necessarily have the skills to be a good parent, and that puts them at potential risk for abuse. We have a great program called Home Visitation, where we pair a trained counselor, meets with them right at the labor and delivery room or in the NICU, and forms a relationship and becomes a coach and a mentor, teaching healthy child development, helping them solve problems, provide support, and get the right kind of services and knowledge so that they can become better parents, and it works.
But it also takes, I think, those young parents to realize, I'm not going to be a good parent. And I think that's almost hard to admit to yourself, to then open yourself up for services.
Right, but maybe it's easier to admit to yourself that, you know, I want to be a better parent than my own experience. And somebody's offering me some free, supportive, in my home, we go to their house, we teach how to play games and have a good time. So it isn't that threatening, and you don't have to say, gee, what a failure or a loser I am to participate.
Well, this is a point that might grab people's attention. Having structured prevention programs can actually save money.
It saves a fortune, because we know that people who are victims of child abuse are at grave risk of dropping out of school, potentially becoming involved with drugs themselves, having a higher risk of divorce, less likelihood of graduating from school and ending up on welfare. So it saves money in the long run. And in the short run, how much do you think it costs to have a child in foster care or in residential care for a year?
And you mentioned you offer services. Besides the home visits and teaching, what other services do you offer?
Well, Child and Family Resources is about saving the next generation from poverty. And the best way to do that is to make sure that kids are ready to get to school and learn and succeed. You ask any kindergarten teacher to make a prediction as to which kids are at risk, and they already know. So we're trying to level the playing field, and it starts from birth to 5. You got to do early childhood education in the right way in order to make sure that kids can read at 3rd grade. And we know that if you can't read at 3rd grade, you're at serious risk. Why? Because when you're less than 3rd grade, you're learning to read. After that, you're reading to learn. So if you can't read, you fall further behind. So we have a lot of programs that coach child care teachers, mentoring, support services, things like that.
And do you have, you rely on volunteers as well as employees?
Actually, we honestly use very few volunteers because you need some specialty training and skills in order to provide the right kind of services to early childhood educators and young parents. And some aren't so young.
So quickly, let's talk about the event coming up.
Well, you bet. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. And we came up with the idea about 5 years ago to honor heroes for children and families. They don't have to be involved in child abuse prevention or mental health or social services, but people are doing great things for kids and families. And so we call attention to child abuse prevention and the need for more funding by having a brunch to honor heroes. We have a contest, people submit names from all over the community, and then a committee of volunteers picks winners. And we have a winner in the emerging champion, a younger person named after Gabe Zimmerman, our board member who was murdered and who's young in his career. We have a Lifetime Achievement Award, and then we have a Champions Award.
Well, Eric Schindler, thank you so much for coming in, and good luck to you. Child and Family Resources is once again holding its Champions for Children and Families brunch this Sunday at 11 a.m. at the Tucson Marriott University Park. To learn more about the brunch or about Child and Family Resources, just call 881-8940 or go online to childfamilyresources.org.
Still ahead on the Morning Blend, tonight you'll get to see a new ABC drama about a beautiful doctor, but she's hiding a huge secret.
We'll talk to Kelly Riley about her new show and what she likes best about the old Pueblo right after this.